Welcome to the Mo Show Live, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great today. Hey, it's fall here in North Alabama. The weather is really getting nice and crisp, so we're waking up in the morning in the high 40s and low 50s, and then getting to be nice and in the 70s. So I'm really loving this weather, waiting for the leaves to change. Football's in the air, and so a lot of great things going on, and I'm really excited about today's guest. In our society, I think we're missing a lot of key characteristics in today's society. And so today's guest really exemplifies something his organization does that I think is so important, and that is empowering others to be the best they can be and taking other people and building them up and giving them the best version of themselves. I think a lot of times in our society, it's too me, what about me, and not helping others and giving back. And so I'm really excited about today's guest to allow him to share the story of his organization and how his organization is empowering others and helping others in our community to be the best version of themselves they can be. So I'm real excited about it. Today's guest is Dr. Karockas Watkins. Just a little bit of background about him before we kind of get started, so you kind of know a little bit about Doc Rock, as he likes to be called, as a lot of people call him. He has a mechanical engineering degree, BS, from Kettering University. He has a Master's of Arts in Theology and a Doctorate of Theology from North Carolina College of Theology. He's the CEO and president of Ability Plus, which is the organization we're going to be talking about today. But he also has involvement in administrative leadership executive of the Alliance. He's the CEO and president of Vision and Excellence Corporation. He's been involved in executive leadership capacity with the Emmanuel Church International Huntsville for over 20 years. He's a motivational and leadership speaker, and what amazing that he's spoken in 29 countries or more. It's really awesome. And we also have a passion or alignment together. He's a member of the Greater Huntsville Rotary Club, and has been served on their boards. And he's also a member of the board of the Heart of the Valley of YMCA. Doc, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good, Morris. I call today Wonderful Wednesday.
Well, that's great. Well, I am so excited to have you on and do. And before we get started, real thing, I just wanted to share this one second story with everybody real quick. So Doc and I just recently met. We're both here in Huntsville, both active in various Rotary clubs, but it's such a small world sometimes. So I'm in Nashville a few weeks ago and at a seminar, and I would go with a friend to the Vanderbilt football game, the Kansas State Vanderbilt, and I happened just to be sitting next to Doc and I think some family or friends, and we just kind of start talking, and after about 5 or 10 minutes, we realize that we both have a tie to Huntsville, and I get to learn more about him and get his card and start reading about all the great work that Ability Plus is doing in our area. And so that's how we met. Just such a small world, isn't it, Doc?
It is. Good game.
Yeah, it was a good game for Vanderbilt at that point. I think it has gone downhill. I think they capped out right there.
Yeah, the next week wasn't quite as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, Doc, I wanted to have you on to talk and share a little bit about Ability Plus, and just to give a quick synopsis of it. It is as I understand, it's a 50c3 nonprofit that the mission or the general purpose of the company, the organization, is to maintain residential homes and offer various programs for individuals in North Alabama with intellectual disabilities. So could you kind of tell our audience how that got started and what the inspiration for this organization was?
Yes. Well, Ability Plus is 16 years old, and I've been at Ability Plus about 5 years, Morris. And like I say, it's we like to say what Simon Sinek says, we are a for impact company with a tax ID status of a nonprofit, because we want to make an impact even as a business. And in our world that we are in, we're taking care of people, providing service for people with intellectual disabilities, those that have an IQ of 69 and below, that fully can't take care of themselves. Now, they may have other diagnoses when it comes to mental illness, but their primary diagnosis is intellectual to be intellectually challenged. And we used to call it mental retardation years ago. Okay, just to clarify some things. And so, we want to be a company that reaches out to this special population to maximize their potential, to help them develop to be what they need to be and what they can be in the community, and not just in some institutional program, but in a community-based program. And we're excited about it.
Well, I think you're providing opportunities as I've gotten to research and read more information about your organization. And, I know from my involvement through my wife in the local school system here in the Madison City Schools that, people just need an opportunity and a little development and doing, and that runs the gamut of all ages and spectrums of intellect, that if you can give them some background and some opportunity, then they can really do a lot of great things and achieve a lot of things. And I think that's what I understand your organization is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people want to, just write people off and say, just put them in a corner somewhere or don't pay any attention to them. But we have people like one guy, I just call him D, or just not just spit his name out or say his name. And he's now he's washing cars. Have a little car wash business that we're developing here on site. We have plans of developing an entrepreneurship center in the future, talking to A&M about that and some other companies. But when this gentleman came to us as a teenager, he had no emotional intelligence. He was violent. People had said he'll never be anything. And now he can hold a conversation and talk to us and now have people not only is he have a car wash business, but now he have people actually who's helping him, who's working with him and for him. And the sky is not even the limit for him. And that is what's so cool. That's what's so good. That's what gets me up every morning, knowing that we're affecting people of this nature. We are touching almost a little over 260 people. We're the largest single provider in the state of Alabama in what we're doing. Yeah. Wow. We employ over 600 people in this company.
Wow, that's tremendous, Doc. That is, wow, I didn't realize it was that big. And, I know there's a great need for these services. And my guess, speculation is that there's a very underserved population base, now maybe not here in North Alabama, but in our communities in general here in the U.S., that there's not a lot of opportunities for people that are intellectually challenged to get training and education and job skills and independent skills. And this is a way for them to do that.
It is. We have what we call ADET. It's stands for Academy for Development, Education, and Training. Many who do call it but it's not a babysitting agency. They don't come. They come in like a school, and so we teaching job skills, empowerment skills. We teaching them self-worth. We teaching them on skills that will allow them to go into the workforce so they can be trained to be what they need to be. And we don't limit. We don't say, hey, this is your limit. We want to maximize their potential. We always think that we know the maximum that a person can do, but we're surprised every single day and say, wow, they doing even more. They expanding themselves. They stretching out and doing things that they themselves never thought, or their parents never thought that they could do.
Wow. Well, it's like anybody else, no matter your intellect or your disabilities or your challenges, that if you're given opportunities and you work towards that, and you maybe can reach the next level that maybe you didn't even think you could reach.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, and that's the joy. You see some who's working at Domino's Pizza. One guy was so excited one day, and he was saying, hey, because he brought a pizza that he actually made, because he was there making boxes. So he got promoted from making boxes to actually making a pizza. And for him, it was as if he had become the CEO of Domino's, and that self-worth that he gained from that. Man, you can't put a price on it.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Hey, real quick, I'd like to thank some people that are watching with us, Doc. We've got Miss Ruth Ann Burke. We've got Bernard Nomberg. We've got Chris Barnett. We've got Mitch Jackson. So we've got several people watching, and I'm glad to have everybody chiming in. So as I understand, Doc, and you kind of mentioned one of the programs, you guys have kind of different programs through Ability Plus that are offered as services. And one of them I was reading about was about residential services. Can you kind of tell us about that program and how that works?
Sure. So we have people who live in our homes. We have over 50 different residency programs, and actually 24/7 that someone is there at the home with them, helping them to cook, helping them to clean, helping them to assist in personal hygiene if necessary, and also carrying them on various outings throughout the community so they can be included in what's going on in our great community in North Alabama. So that program is our, one of our main programs that we have. And it's we have many people, most in Madison County. Then we have some houses in Morgan County, Limestone County, and then Etowah County.
Okay. And just so people understand, then this is a way for somebody with an intellectual disability who may have formerly been living with family or something to gain some independence and live in a home. And are they living with other people that are in the program? And is that kind of what happens?
It is, and we have houses from sometimes one person to the max is 4. Most of our homes have 3 bedrooms, have 3 people in there, and they share same criticality level of care is in those houses. And then their peers help one another. As we know, iron sharpens iron. And when you get a peer or a person that's in the same predicament or in the same state that you're in, then it helps you to grow. It encourages you to grow. So that's what these programs are about. They are personal centered. So each person has their own plan to help them achieve their goals in life, to help them matriculate up through society. And so we have caregivers in those houses, and then the houses have what we call house managers that really make sure we go following the regulations of the state of Alabama, and that we are really taking care of other people.
And Doc, are these permanent placements? I mean, if somebody comes into a home like this, is this something that they would stay in until, as long as they want to stay and they're meeting the guidelines and the requirements of the program?
Yes, most would be with us until they leave the earth. To be honest with you,
Okay.
We have some that may have a chance to one day be on their own, but very few. I mean, that number is very, very low. So they're family. They're family to us, and we take them as family. You get attached, and and just love on them, and just watch them grow.
Yeah, and so Doc, tell people how is the funding for that worked? I assume there's a cost for that, and then the homes, I'm sure, and the people that are workers within the organization that are working with these people. How does all that work?
Well, sure. So most of our people are on what we call the Medicaid waiver. It's not Medicaid, but it's just called Medicaid waiver that the government created for people with intellectual disability. So 70% federal, and the state matches 30%. And so companies like ours, and many companies like ours, actually most of them are for-profit companies. And so they pay us for the service that we provide with those individuals. Now, we do have people who privately pay for our day program, and they can privately pay for as well as for the residential program or any program. Most can't afford that. And so in Alabama, we have 3,000, Morris, we have 3,000 people that's on the waiting list that need services that like we provide. So we have 3,000 people just on the waiting list that's trying to get these services. Now, once the state gives them the service, then it's like school or anything else. It's an entitlement service that has to be, that they promise for life, basically.
Right. Yeah, but and with that waiting list like that, which is just staggering, I'm assuming except for the people that are in the residence program that, my guess is one of the problems you probably have is you don't have enough homes or facilities for people. I'm sure there are people that you could place in that program if you had enough housing for them, I bet.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Housing, and then them being approved off the waiting list, because the waiting list is let me explain, is they own it, and they're waiting for their next slot for the approval of the money. So it's both. So it's houses, yeah, absolutely, and it's for the state to say we have the money to approve. So once a quarter, the state may 125 people will come off the waiting list and have funding available for them to go and shop around. They have choice, just like you go to your dentist or go to your doctor. Well, we're a provider. We're like a hospital in that sense. Like we operate much like a Huntsville hospital would, and they would come and visit us, and we'll tour them to our houses, to our day center, our other services, and then they can choose us or they can choose someone else. We are very fortunate that we want to lead us in our area. Matter of fact, we're one of only 3 providers in the whole state that have an international certification. So our certification is even above the state certification, and we want to be pioneers, and we want to be the go-to people in this whole state, in this whole region, actually, in what we're doing.
Well, that's fantastic. So you guys are located here. I guess the corporate office or the home office is here in Huntsville, and then you've got these
Yeah,
homes mainly in Madison County and some surrounding counties.
exactly. So the home
And
office and the day program is here in Huntsville, 100 Jetplex. We right off Wall Trout. So we in Madison with a Huntsville address.
I got you. I got you.
Down from right across from the intermodal. Yeah.
And then, so for the day program, so people that maybe that aren't ready for or don't qualify or not interested in, maybe they're staying with family or friends, and but you have certain people that come into this day program and kind of expand upon they are just getting life skills and maybe
Yeah.
job training and outings and those kind of
Absolutely.
things.
Yeah, sure. And some of them, many of my day program, like I say, are still living with their parents because we serve a population from 8, our youngest, to 84, our oldest. And so many people, once they graduate from high school, a person with intellectual disability can stay in high school until they're 21. And then they, of course, after 21, then many of them come to us. And some of them are still living at home, and they just come to our day program to keep enhancing their skills, keep bettering themselves, as if you and I would going to college in a sense. And so then they go back home. Some of them come to our day program, also part of our residential program as well. And of course, we provide transportation for them. So it's a mixture of people.
Well, and I would imagine, Doc, that it's a way for them, to not only get life skills, but it's a way for them to interact and have, just like we all need, it's a way for them to have socialization and interact with people and get that, adult time or time
Yeah.
that we all need and do. And I'm sure for the ones that are in the day program, it's also probably a stress reliever and takes some stress off of some of the family members as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They come and we have all type activities. We have people that come in and do activities. They go to art centers and paint. We go bowling. I mean, they have challenge shows. Which Morris, the next challenge show, I will make sure you come. You will have a ball. I mean, the challenge shows are just awesome. I live for them. but really, so they can enjoy life. And as all of us want to enjoy life.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. It really is. And then understand, you guys have even started, I think you heard some talking earlier about folks that may be just joining us or watching now that weren't earlier, that, you've got opportunities for them. I saw something where you have maybe even an Ability Plus cleaning crew. You've even got some kind of, stuff where people are trying to empower them to learn a skill set and to have self-worth and to be able to earn some money and to have that really self-worth.
Yeah. So we got Ability Plus cleaning crew that clean. We don't have outside contractors. They do that now. We also just started a program with my leadership Huntsville class, our class, along with Taziki's. That now we grow. We grow tzatziki, basil. We grow basil for them. Pick it.
Okay.
They sell it in their restaurants. It's wheelchair accessible. That's been a big hit. We the third company that they doing this with, and had their owner and president to come down from Birmingham to start this program, and it's just fantastic. We're working with Zapata Systems that are hiring some people in our hub zone to do some stuff with Ability Plus. So we just expanded because we want for every person to just maximize who they really are and what they want to be. And we're excited about that because providing, and the great thing is when they get their checks, oh my goodness, it's not the money to them. It's the fact that, hey, I'm working and I got a check. They go buy me something, but the check is more important, physical check, than anything because, hey, here's a group of people that never would have worked.
That's awesome. And I think it speaks volumes. I think you're talking about Sandra Cepeda. She's in my Rotary Club. She's a great person and does a lot of great things. And then Taziki's is for people who may be watching that aren't from Alabama or around here. It's a great Mediterranean restaurant that my family enjoys all the time. So, Doc, if other business owners wanted to get involved and offer opportunities like that, is that something that they could reach out to your organization and do?
Absolutely. We love community involvement. We are stressing that. I'm a community person, as you know, and so they can go to our website and contact us or call us at any number on our website. Is there, ability-plus.org, and we would love to get with them. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And we've been in relationships. We're not about with our hand out. We want to say how can we partner? How can we help one another? It's not about us just looking for a handout. We operate, and every dime we get, Morris, from any donation, it's all for our consumers. Because we are funded by our contract and the work we do. So we're not a traditional nonprofit that is operating in money people give us. It pays my salary. It doesn't. What pays my salary is our services. So, hey, we love partnerships, and we want people to come in, and we say it's a beautiful life. We want people to have a beautiful life, and that's what we're about.
Well, this is awesome stuff. Hey, real quick, I want to thank my friend Nick Rishwain all the way from California watching this, Doc. And so we got Nick watching us and doing one other program that I saw. I thought was really interesting, that I thought would be a really big need. I'd be interested to get some feedback from you, is the A+ Academy. I know for a lot of people that there's a big need for after school care, and I would assume that maybe this, providing after school care for children with intellectual disabilities, there may be a need for that. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
So this is just a program just not getting started, and we're trying to work with some of the school systems and providing this service. Had a conversation with Madison School System, Huntsville last year, and it got a slow start. But yeah, that's what it's for. That we hear them. Instead of, sometimes they can't send people to a traditional daycare, but cannot handle them, do not have the proper staffing, trained as they need to be trained, and we saying, hey, we're here because that's what we do. We want to be a help. So, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, that's a great program. I hope he gets off the ground. I think it could be a great resource for a lot of parents that, it's hard to, when you get off at 3, when the kid gets out of school at 3, to be able to go pick them up, and just trying to find after school care can be difficult. And then if you're trying to find after school care with someone that has the appropriate training to take care of your child's needs, then that can be even more difficult.
Yeah, all of our caregivers are trained. All of them go through CPR, they MAC certified, all those techniques.
Well, that's great. Well, Doc, you said you have over 600 employees. Is that right?
Yes.
That's unbelievable. So I've got to imagine, having just gotten to spend some time with you a few weekends ago and talking to you today, that I bet a lot of these people share the same passion that you do. I saw a great video on y'all's Facebook page the other day with one of your members of
Tabitha. Yes.
Tabitha and Katie. I assume is one of the part of your programs. Just really heartwarming, and I could see that it was so genuine there. And I've got to think you've got a lot of great employees that these people aren't, just numbers or people that they're coming to work. They get to know them and love them, I'm sure.
Yeah, they do. I tell people, I wish I could call this a job, Morris, but this is not a job. This is a joy. I used to work with gadgets and widgets and all that, being an engineer and supervised engineer and all that kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great. But, the people that work with our people have passion, man, that goes for days, because I tell you cannot help but fall in love with them. I mean, you just can't help it. I mean, it's not something that I tell you get bit. You'll see when people come by and we tour them, they just sit down and say, wow. And I get that every day. I really do. And it's not scripted. It's just there. They make us laugh. They make us cry. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And the heart of any organization or any company is the people. And it starts at the top and flows down. And it just, I can tell that you have that passion, and that I'm sure your employees do. Doc, I wanted to ask if do you have opportunities, if there's people, for our viewers in North Alabama, or even all across the country, if there's similar programs, if people want to get involved and volunteer, is that something? Do you have opportunities for things like that at the day center and things, programs?
We do. We have people that come in. It's an application they fill out, so we just gonna, who know who they are, and they can volunteer. We have people, several that come in and volunteer, and we love it, and they love it. It's just great for everyone. It really is. Mm-hmm.
Well, I encourage everybody to do that, and I'm going to hold Doc to his word. I'm going to go out and watch a talent show, and I'm gonna report back what I found, and I'm excited to do it, and I'm hoping I'm not shamed into doing any dancing or singing, because I will definitely
just a little bit,
So what I wanted to do, Doc, here when we wrap up, is just to let everybody know that you guys have a really good website that I'll put in the comments below the video here. And so everybody, if you want to reach out to Doc or anybody at Ability Plus to learn more about them, check out their website. And then the other thing is they have a very good Facebook page. And I shared this great video that they shared out the other day of one of the participants in the program and one of the workers, and it was really heartwarming and great to see their interaction. And so like them on Facebook to kind of to see what's going on in the Ability Plus.
That'd be great. And Morris, and I want to throw this out. We do have a annual celebration on November the 16th that we're having at the Jackson Center. So they can go on our website if anybody want to get a table to support that or anything. And we call it a celebration. So we'll have people singing, we'll have people speaking. Our consumers will be there. We have people in the community that support us every year. But that's going to be in November. I think November the 16th. But it's on our website. So I'd love for anyone who's in the area to come and join us.
Yeah, that's great. It'd be a great way to kind of get to know some people and know more about this organization. If you're watching today's replay and you think, wow, this is such a great organization, how can I get to know more about it and get more involved? Certainly volunteering, maybe making a donation, and certainly, joining, going to this dinner on the 16th. And for anybody in North Alabama or Tennessee, that Jackson Center is a great venue for something like this. It's a really cool venue. Well, Doc, wrap up and just kind of say that, we're both Rotarians, and for people who may not know much about Rotary, our motto is service above self. And I really think that y'all's organization really exemplifies this. And like I said when we started today's show, that I think there's too much me in society, and there's not enough helping others and empowering others. And I really think that's what your organization is about. And I'm really appreciative that we have you in our community and that you're helping others. And, I want to help any way I can. And I certainly look forward to getting to know more about your organization and coming out and maybe participating in a few things and volunteering. So.
Well, Morris, thank you. Thank you for what you do. Appreciate you giving us the invite to come on Facebook Live on your show to just tell what we do in the community and helping people to live a beautiful life, all people. And so we appreciate it and keep doing what you do.
Well, thank you so much, folks. Please, if you will, once you watch today's show, help us promote the work of Ability Plus by liking the video and sharing the video out. And then again, looking at the comments, and we're going to put the information about the website, and we'll put information about the Facebook page, and you can go on there and learn more and find out more about the upcoming celebration dinner coming up. Doc, thanks so much. It's good to talk with you today, and I look forward to connecting with you soon in the future, okay?
Okay, my friend. You have a good day.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.